Hello. In continuation with application of derivatives, we are continuing with exercise 6.5. Exercise 6.5. I think we have solved up to question number 8. After that, I am taking one question, number 13. Words problems coming here from 13. Find two numbers whose sum is 24 and whose product is as large as possible. Find two numbers whose sum is 24. Question number 13. Find two numbers whose sum is 24, whose sum is 24 and whose sum is 24 and whose product is as large as possible. See, this is the application of derivatives. Condition: find two numbers whose sum, we are finding two numbers, their sum is 24, but their product is as large as possible. Okay. So these type of questions will be solved with the help of application of derivatives. Find two numbers whose sum is 24. Okay. Let the numbers be x and y. Okay. I have taken two numbers x and y. So as given, x plus y is equal to 24, whose sum is 24. Okay. So that means y is equal to 24 minus x. So keep in mind one thing, that always we have to keep one variable here. Okay. Y, that means it is f of x. So f of x is equal to 24 minus x. So there are two numbers we have. One number is x and second number is 24 minus x. Whose product is as large as possible. Product is as large as possible. So that means the product of two numbers, I am writing here p is equal to x into y. Okay. And this we are going to prove that as large as possible. That means we'll have to differentiate this term. Okay. P is equal to x, in place of y 24 minus x. That means P is equal to 24x minus x square. Okay. Differentiate with respect to one variable is here only, that is x. So what to write here? dp upon dx is equal to 24 minus 2x for maxima or minima. What we have to do? dp upon dx is equal to 0. Yeah, f dash p is equal to 0. Anything you can write it. So may I write here 24 minus 2x is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 24 upon 2, that is 12. And if x is equal to 12, then y is equal to 24 minus 12. It is 12. So the value of x is 12 and the value of y is equal to 12. Now let us check our answer. 12 and 12. So 12 into 12, it is 144. Other two group if you are making, suppose you are making a group of 20 and 4, 24 is 80, and you can make all the combinations, but I am sure that you are getting only the as large as possible product is 12 and 12. Okay. So this is a full proof test. No error in it. X is equal to 12 and y is equal to 12. Now let us check whether the product is maximum or not, as large as possible, yes or no. So we have to use our second derivative test. This is number 1. Differentiate 1 with respect to x. 1 means equation 1 with respect to x. So d square p by dx square is equal to a constant of, it is coming minus 2. And minus 2 which is less than 0. And second derivative minus sign shows that maximum. Hence the product is maximum. Okay. Hence the product is maximum. So this is the procedure for finding the numbers. Okay. So you will remember the working rule also. Whatever the function is there, if the function is given in the question or it is not given. If function is not given, we have to make a function term first. Okay, with the help of these problems which are given in the questions, and whatever the sentence is there, according to the sentence, we have to convert into the form of function. And after that, first derivative test, first derivative f dash x is equal to 0 for checking maxima and minima, and after that the second derivative, in the second derivative simply we'll have to see the sign, which sign is coming. Okay. So other question number 14, 15, 16 are simply you can solve these questions, same type of that. I am taking question number 17. 17th question. It's a very interesting question. A rectangular sheet of tin 45 cm by 24 cm is to be made into a box without top by cutting off squares from each corner and folding up the flaps. What should be the side of the square to be cut off so that the volume of the box is maximum? Okay. Question is clear. A rectangular sheet of tin 45 cm by 24 cm. It's a rectangular sheet. Rectangular sheet which is 45 cm by 24 cm. 45 cm by 24 cm. Is it okay? This is a rectangular sheet. Is to be made into a box without top by cutting off squares from each corner and folding up the flaps. Which type of situation is that? Just for feeling, demonstration will be done here, then you will understand. Suppose this A4 size sheet I have taken, you will treat this as a 45 by 24 cm. Okay. And in the question it is given that we are going to make a box without top by folding their flaps and cutting by a square of each corner. Okay. Suppose these 4 squares I have cut from each corner. Okay. These are the 4 squares I have cut. These 4 squares I have cut by each corner. It is 45, this is 24. And folding of the flaps. These flaps to be folded. Okay. This is the situation 1. Second, it is 2. After that there is a third one. You visualize and you feel this, that this is happening. Okay, then you will understand the question and you will take a lot of interest in it. That's why I am doing this practical work. Okay. Folding flap of this. You can see this becomes a cuboid. Sorry, it becomes, yes, cuboid, which is open at the top. Okay. It is a cuboid. This shape is a cuboid. 4 squares. From each end, 4 squares have been cut. And folding these flaps to become into the form of a cuboid. So that is a cuboidal box. This is one. Now one condition is clear here, that if I would like to ask you that what is the volume, because in the question they are asking folding of the flaps, what should be the side of the square to be cut off so that the volume of the box is maximum possible. What could be the side of these squares? So we are going to find the value of this x, that from where we should cut and what should be the side so that this volume of this cuboid should be maximum possible. Okay, so maximum possible volume is doing this, but here the one different thing, this is total 45, and because we don't know what is the length of the side, so we are taking that the length of the side of this square be x. Okay, so what happened, from all four sides x, x, x and this, it is to be cut, and this remaining to be folded in making a cuboid. So in this cuboid here, what is the length of the cuboid? The length of the cuboid is 45 minus, this is x, everywhere it is x, it is a square, so all sides are equal, everywhere it is x. Okay. What is this length of the cuboid? 45 minus x, it is 45 minus 2x, length of the cuboid, 45 minus 2x, breadth of the cuboid, 24 minus 2x, 24 minus 2x, and height of the cuboid. See, this when I fold upside, so what is this? This is the side of the square, and which we have taken side of the square is x. So height of the cuboid is x. Okay, right. So we'll consider, let the side of square be x centimeter. Let the side of square, side of this square, side of square, which is square, which is to be cut off from this sheet. Okay, be x centimeter. Therefore, length of cuboid 45 minus 2x centimeter, breadth of cuboid 24 minus 2x centimeter, and height of cuboid is equal to x centimeter. Is that clear? Height flapping upward, so height will be the side of a square. Okay, we are going to find the maximum possible volume of the cuboid. What is the formula? Volume of cuboid. Volume of cuboid is equal to L into B into H. Okay, so that means V is equal to length 45 minus 2x, breadth 24 minus 2x, and height is x. Only single variable here. Because we are going to find the maximum possible volume, so differentiate with respect to x, because only x is a variable which can be more or less by cutting. Okay, so differentiate with respect to x. dv by dx is equal to d by dx. Just let us multiply it first. 45 multiplied by 25. So 25, 24 5 ja 120, it is 12. 25 4 ja 96. 96 and 12, 98, 108. Okay. Minus 90x, minus 48x, and plus 4x square. Is that okay? Which is multiplied by x. So that means dv by dx is equal to dy by dx. I have not differentiate now. First we'll make a simpler form of that. So it is coming 1080x minus 90 minus 48. It is coming minus 138 x square, x multiplied here, plus 4x cube. Okay. Now differentiate. So dv by dx is equal to 1080 minus 8 to just 16, 617 to 276x plus 12x square. And for maxima or minima, dv by dx is equal to 0. So 1080 minus 276x plus 12x square is equal to 0. Okay. From this equation, may I take common? Will it cancel by 12? 12 2 is 24, it is coming 3, 12 3 ja, it's okay. 12 9 ja 108 and 10. So it will be divided, to make a simpler form of this equation, we'll divide it by 12. So it is coming x square minus 12 2 ja 24, 12 2 ja 24, 12 3 ja 36, x, okay, 12 24 3, 12 3 ja 36, plus 12 9 ja 108, so it is coming 90, is equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation. We can solve this quadratic equation by splitting the middle term. 18 5 ja 90, 18 plus 5 23. So x square minus 18x minus 5x plus 90 is equal to 0. X common, x minus 18 minus 5, x minus 18 is equal to 0. 1x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 18. Both are positive. Possibility of both the answers, x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 18. But I am telling here that x is equal to 18 is not possible. You know how it is not possible? Look at this. X is equal to 5 and x is equal to 18. Suppose x is equal to 18. So this side it is 18 plus 18. 18 plus 18, 36. And what is the total breadth of this? It is 24. 24 minus 36. Answer is coming in the negative, which is not possible. So the answer x is equal to 5. 5 plus 5, 10. And 24 minus 10, it is coming 14. And this is also. So what should I write here? So x is equal to 18 is not possible, because reason you can give that 18 plus 18, 24 minus 18 plus 18 is not possible. So now x is equal to 5. Okay. So that means the side should be taken as x is equal to 5. Now let us see the volume will be maximum, yes or no. So again we differentiate this term. Which term should be differentiated? This term. Differentiate with respect to x by 1. So when we differentiate this term, d square v by dx square is equal to, this term is 0, it is minus 276 and it is coming plus 24x. Okay. In place of x, put x is equal to 5. So what is coming? Minus 276 plus 24, 5 is 120. 6, 7 minus 2, 5, and it is 1 with minus sign. And minus sign is less than 0. What does it mean? The volume is maximum. Volume is maximum at x is equal to 5. Okay. So what is the side of this square which we have cut from here? It is x is equal to 5 centimeter. Then we'll get the volume as maximum. Okay. So I hope you have understood this question. You enjoyed this question also. And it's a solution. So in the words problem, whatever the questions are there, first you visualize all the questions. You can imagine, you feel all the questions. And then you can start to solve it. Okay. Question number 23. 23. Prove that the volume of largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere. Prove that the volume of largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius capital R is 8/27 of the volume of sphere. Prove that the volume of the largest cone, I am writing this question. Prove that the volume of the largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius capital R is 8 upon 27 of the volume of a sphere. Okay. Prove that the volume of largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius capital R is 8 upon 27 of the volume of a sphere. Okay. What is the condition? Prove that the volume of largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere. Sphere is a fixed term. This is a sphere. Okay. In this sphere, largest cone. Now we don't know how to set this cone in it so that it will become a largest in the volume. Like this. A, B, C. Okay. Sphere is fixed. Its radius is capital R, which is fixed. Capital R radius, we are fixed. Only this cone, we don't know what is the size of the cone. Maybe the radius is more, height is less, whatever it is. Okay. So different type of cones are made and to be fit into it in such a way that its volume will be maximum. Okay. So now that is the task which we have, that which type of cone should be put into it so that its volume will be maximum. Okay. It will occupy the maximum space. Volume of this is maximum. Capital R, center of the sphere. What is the radius? Capital R is the radius of sphere. Okay. Radius of a sphere is equal to capital R. Okay. So that is the radius, capital R. Okay. And one radius, it is not a radius. This is also the radius, capital R. Inscribed in a sphere, prove that the volume of the largest cone. Volume of the largest cone. Okay. That means we'll have to differentiate to the volume of the cone. Okay. And when we differentiate the volume of the cone, that means in a cone 1 upon 3 pi r square h, there are two variables, radius and height. So we'll convert in one variable, start differentiation. Okay. So better to convert in one variable, otherwise we can use the two variable also for differentiation. But here better to convert in a single variable. Okay. And definitely we'll get a relation between r and h of the cone. Okay. So that is a radius of the cone and it is height of the cone. Okay. Formula, volume of the cone is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r square h. Okay. If I will consider from O to B, it is x. Okay. Then what is the value of this? So we'll consider let OB is equal to x. Therefore BC is equal to, in this triangle we are using Pythagoras theorem. So BC square is equal to r square minus x square. BC square is equal to r square minus x square. Therefore BC is equal to, by the way, square is used here, under root r square minus x square. Okay. What is BC? BC is the radius of cone and AB is the height. Volume of cone is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r square h. Okay. Volume of cone V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r square. Radius BC square and h is AB. So what does it mean? V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi BC square is r square minus x square into AB is height of the cone, that is r plus x. Is it okay? V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi multiplied inside it is r cube plus r square x minus x square r and minus x cube. Differentiate with respect to x. So what is this? dv by dx is equal to 1 upon 3 pi, because other terms are constant. This r is also constant, it's a fixed value. Radius of the sphere. So 1 upon 3 pi differentiation of r cube 0. So differentiation of r square x, that is r square minus 2xr minus 3x square. For maxima or minima, dv by dx is equal to 0. Therefore, this entire term is equal to 0. 1 upon 3 pi r square minus 2xr minus 3x square is equal to 0. This term will be shifted here, it becomes 0. Only this is left, r square minus, it should be written in the form of splitting the middle term. So we write here minus 3xr plus xr minus 3x square is equal to 0. Taking r common, r minus 3x plus x common, r minus 3x. There are two relations, r is equal to minus x and r is equal to 3x. Therefore, x is equal to r by 3. Now let us see, r is equal to minus x is not possible. R and x both are side length, they will not be equal. R is equal to minus x, it will never be in the form of negative. So this is impossible condition. Possible condition is x is equal to r by 3. So this x is equal to r by 3. Okay. After that, we are proving that the radius of sphere is 8 upon 27 of the volume of this sphere. Okay. So volume of sphere V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r square h. V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi radius r square. Here we are talking about the radius of cone. So r square is equal to bc square. That means r square minus x square. The value of x is r by 3. So when I write here r square minus r square upon 9, 1 upon 3 pi r square, and h. What is h? R plus r by 3. Okay. So V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi 9r square minus r square. It is 8 upon 9 r square into 3r plus r, 4 upon 3 r. Okay. So that means it is coming 8 upon 27. 8, this I am writing here 8 upon 9 3 is 27. Okay. 8 upon 27 I have written outside, this 8 upon 27. Now what is left? Here it is left 4 upon 3 pi r cube. This is left. And what is it? 8 upon 27 is here. And what is left? 4 upon 3 pi r square into r. It is r cube. 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Have you remembered what is this? This is the volume of sphere. 4 upon 3 pi r cube. And what we want to prove that 8 upon 27 of the volume of sphere. So this is proved, the volume is 8 upon 27 of the volume of sphere. That is one. Now let us check whether the volume is maximum, yes or no. Okay. So for checking the volume is maximum, first derivative, this is. Okay. Differentiate first. Why? R with respect to x. When we differentiate, because in the second derivative is used only for checking the sign, whether the sign is positive or it is negative. That means the term is greater than 0 or less than 0. If it is greater than 0, it's a minimum value. Greater than 0, the value is, dy, second derivative is less than 0, the value is maximum, and it is greater than 0, value is minimum. So differentiation of that term, 1 by d square v by dx square is equal to 1 by 3 pi, and this is the constant of 0. It is coming minus 2r minus 6x. Minus 2r minus 6x. Okay. Minus 2r minus 6x. Both the values minus sign common. Minus 1 upon 3 pi. Minus 1 upon 3 pi. It is coming 2r plus 6 and x is r by 3. So what is this term is positive? Outside this is minus sign. What does it mean? The second derivative d square v by dx square is less than 0. That means the volume of the term is maximum. And this we want to prove that the volume is a maximum. Okay. One more interesting question I am taking from this exercise, in which one vertical angle is there. Okay. so that you can solve each and every type of questions. Because in these questions, you know, feeling and visualization, two things are very important. First, you understand what is the meaning of this question. You try to read it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times until you understand the question properly. Only then you start solving it. Okay. Yes. 3 questions like that. 24, 25, 6, 25 and 26. 25 I am taking, so that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume and of the given slant height is tan inverse root 2. Show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone. Question number 25. Show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume of the cone of maximum volume and of given slant height is tan inverse root 2. Okay. Question is clear. Show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume. Single figure. What is it? Cone. Semi-vertical angle. Do you know what is semi-vertical angle? This is a vertical angle. It is semi-vertical angle. Okay. Half vertical. Show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume and of given slant height. O, A, B. This is semi-vertical angle. Suppose it is theta, slant height L. Okay. Is tan inverse root 2. So this semi-vertical angle, we want to prove that tan inverse root 2. And condition is given semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume. So we'll have to differentiate the volume of cone, okay, in terms of all the terms of the volume theta and this L, okay. That means the H and R to be converted into the form of slant height and theta. Okay. Let theta be the semi-vertical angle of cone and L be the slant height. Okay. Slant height of cone. Is that okay? O is equal to height, AB is equal to radius. Volume is equal to 1/3 pi r square. Two things are required. One is radius, second is height. But radius and height we are converting in terms of theta and L. Okay. In triangle OAB, which triangle? In triangle OAB. This is a theta. We are using here tan theta. So tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base, but we need slant height. So in tan slant L, hypotenuse is not required. So which should be taken? In place of tan, it is opposite of theta, that is perpendicular, it is hypotenuse. Perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that means sine. So sine theta is equal to R upon Is it okay? So that means R is equal to L sine theta. One thing. Second, in the same triangle, we need the height of it also. So using cos theta. Cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse, h upon L. So this means h is equal to L cos theta. Is that okay? This is the radius of cone and it is the height of the cone. Volume of cone 1 upon 3 pi r square h. So V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi radius. What is the radius of it? L sine theta. So may I write here L square sine square theta into h. H is L cos theta. So V is equal to 1 upon 3 pi L square into L, it is L cube sine square theta into cos theta. Now here one thing, what is the variable here? L theta is a cone. This is the cone. When we are going to find the maximum volume, so I think we have, because the slant height is given, so we can turn the slant height upside or turn the slant height to downside. That means, because the slant height, which is, this is the quantity, this is the variable quantity, and with respect to the L, I think this H and R, both are variable. Because when we shift that side, that what happens? H will be increasing and the radius will decreasing. When we shift that side, radius is increasing and height is decreasing. So what does it mean? L, H, R. These three are variable. Yes or no? Only H and R are variable. L is not variable. This is the fixed quantity. You can shift here or there. Okay. But you can see that this theta is a variable. When we take the L on that side, then the theta is increasing. L is coming on that side, the theta is decreasing. Okay. So that means the theta is a variable here. So we have to differentiate with respect to theta. Differentiate with respect to theta. So dV by d theta is equal to 1 upon 3 pi L cube. And this is a product rule. In the differentiation, product rule will be applied. First function sine square theta, differentiation of second function minus sine theta plus second function cos theta, and differentiation of sine square theta 2 sine theta into cos theta. So for maxima and minima, dV by d theta is equal to 0. Okay. So I write here minus 1 upon 3 pi L cube sine cube theta plus 2 sine theta cos square theta, and this is equal to 0. These all the terms will be shifted, there becomes 0. Okay, what is coming here? Just let me see. This is a minus sign here, so I will write here this is plus only, this minus is here. Okay, this will be shifted here. Now what happened? Sine cube theta is equal to 2 sine theta into cos square theta. 1 sine theta cancel. Sine square theta is equal to 2 cos square theta. That means sine square theta upon cos square theta is equal to 2. So tan square theta, sine square theta upon cos square theta, tan square theta is equal to 2. Tan theta is equal to root 2. Therefore, theta is equal to tan inverse root 2. This is the angle we got it. Now we'll have to check whether the volume is maximum, yes or no. So the first derivative term is this. This is the term. First derivative, we can use this as okay. And here what happens? We'll differentiate this term. Again, we have to differentiate the term. And you will see that in all terms, the sign will be coming here negative. Okay. How the sign is coming negative? This is minus sine cube 3 sine square theta into sine theta cos theta. It's a negative term. And this term will also become in the form of 2 sine theta cos theta. That is, no, this is 2 sine theta cos square theta. When we make a differentiation of this term, so this term will be coming in the form of negative. So minus sign is coming outside. The value of this term is positive. Minus is coming. What does it mean? D square V by d theta square is less than 0. That means the volume is maximum. So after this term we can write here, after differentiation, equation number 1 we will get, after differentiation we will get d square Vy d theta square is less than 0. Therefore volume is maximum. This also we can write it. Okay. So that is question number 25. Okay. So that's all this exercise. The remaining questions will be done by yourself. And whatever the questions are, by the way, I'll send you a link in which the solution of all the questions. So if you have a problem of solving any question, you can see the link also. Okay. You can see the solution. But my suggestion, you will try to solve yourself. You read the question 2 times, 3 times, make a diagram and then try to solve it. Okay. Okay. Thanks for watching.